My wife thought she was sneaky, but then she ended up in the hospital. I never thought I would see the day when the woman I loved more than life itself would end up in a hospital bed because of the very lies she thought she could hide from me. But life has a way of tearing apart illusions, exposing truths that cut deeper than knives. And this is the story of how my wife's secrecy destroyed the marriage I thought was unbreakable. From the very beginning, Sarah and I were the couple everyone envied. We met in college, and our connection was instant, almost like fate had tied our souls together before we even spoke. She was the kind of woman who lit up a room with her presence, and I was just the guy lucky enough to stand beside her. After we got married, life seemed like a fairy tale. We built a beautiful home, supported each other's dreams, and everyone around us admired how perfect we were. But perfection is fragile. Sometimes it's nothing more than a mask. It started with little things. Late nights at work, vague excuses about her phone always being on silent, and an unusual coldness in her hugs. I brushed it off at first. Marriage has ups and downs, I told myself. Stress, responsibilities, and exhaustion can change how people act. But deep down, a gnawing feeling told me something wasn't right. One night, I woke up at 2 a.m. and noticed she wasn't in bed. I found her in the living room, staring at her phone with a smile she hadn't given me in months. When she saw me, she jumped, fumbling to lock the screen, and muttered something about scrolling through Instagram. I nodded, forcing myself to believe her. But the way she looked at that phone. That wasn't Instagram. I became a detective in my own home. Every glance, every excuse, every unexplained absence felt like a puzzle piece. But as much as I wanted to confront her, fear paralyzed me. What if I was wrong? What if I was overthinking and pushing her away with accusations? So, I stayed silent, swallowing my doubts like poison. Then came the night everything shattered. She told me she was heading to a girls' night out. Something in my chest tightened, and instead of letting it go, I followed her. I parked a few blocks away and watched as she walked into a dimly lit restaurant, not with her girlfriends, but with a man I had never seen before. He touched her hand across the table, and she laughed in a way I hadn't heard in years. That laugh cut me deeper than any betrayal could. My heart raced. I wanted to storm in, flip the table, scream, cry, beg. But I didn't. Instead, I left quietly, tears streaming down my face as I drove away from the life I thought was real. For weeks, I kept my distance, building a wall of silence. She noticed, of course. She tried to act normal, but her guilt bled through in her awkward excuses. Finally, one night, I confronted her. My voice shook as I asked, "Who is he, Sarah?" Her face drained of color. For a moment, I saw fear in her eyes, then anger. "How dare you spy on me?" she shouted, flipping the blame on me. That was the moment I realized the woman I loved was gone, replaced by someone who valued lies over truth. The fight escalated. Words we could never take back were thrown like daggers. She grabbed her car keys, stormed out of the house, and sped away. I wanted to stop her, but my pride, and my pain, rooted me to the ground. An hour later, my phone rang. It was the hospital. Sarah had been in a car accident. I rushed there, heart pounding with a mixture of anger, fear, and love I didn't even understand anymore. Seeing her lying in that hospital bed, hooked up to wires and machines, broke me in ways I can't describe. She was battered, bruised, and unconscious. And in that moment, all the betrayal, all the lies, all the pain, none of it mattered. I just wanted her alive. For days, I sat by her bedside, holding her hand, whispering prayers. When she finally woke up, her eyes filled with tears, and so did mine. She whispered, "I'm sorry. I've been so foolish. I thought I was sneaky, but I hurt you. I hurt us." It wasn't a grand confession of love. It wasn't enough to erase the betrayal. But it was real. It was raw. And it was the first time I felt like Sarah was being honest with me in months. Recovery wasn't just about her broken body, it was about the shattered trust between us. Therapy sessions followed, painful conversations, and long nights of questioning whether love was enough to heal the damage. Some days I wanted to walk away. Other days, I wanted to fight for what we had. In the end, I realized something important. Love isn't just about passion or fairy tales. It's about choices. And while Sarah's choices nearly destroyed us, she also chose to come clean, to face her mistakes, and to fight for us after the crash woke her up to the reality of what she was losing. We're still healing. Some scars never fade, and trust takes years to rebuild. But every time I see her smile now, not the secretive smile she gave to her phone, but the genuine one she shares with me, I remember that even broken things can be mended, if both people are willing to put in the work. So here's my message. Never take your loved ones for granted. Lies may feel clever in the moment, but they destroy everything you've built. And sometimes, it takes losing everything, or almost losing it, to realize what truly matters. My wife thought she was sneaky, but fate humbled her. And while I'll never forget the pain, I also won't forget the lesson. Honesty and love, no matter how messy, are the only foundations that last.